welcome to ADD Masterminds. I'm Bridge Livois, and I'm here with Jimmy the Talking Table and the girl.
The girl.
What?
Am I allowed to be here?
Yes, you are. This isn't Bart Simpson's Clubhouse, so we're good.
All right.
Hey, did you guys watch Soul?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is your spark? So for people who haven't watched Soul, that's kind of the crux of the whole thing, is about finding your spark, finding that thing that lights you up. So what would you say your spark is? The girl? That's so weird.
I think it's perfect. I love it. I really like learning new things and, just, different people's experiences, or, I'll go off on a tangent and learn everything I can about, one thing and then move on to the next. So it's probably just, I think that's adventure of the mind, maybe. So I would say that. I'm gonna say that's it.
That's the title of this podcast, Adventure of the Mind.
I love that you discovered the title so soon instead of like halfway through and like, what are we?
We have further to go.
What about you, Jimmy?
I really live for the likes and retweets on Twitter and Facebook. No.
You down 3?
For my wife's smile. It's Valentine's Day. What do I got to play my cards right,
That's right.
No, what sparks me? It's funny. I watched the movie and I didn't even really think about it. Interactions like this, just the free-flowing exchanging of ideas and minds when creativity and spunk and feistiness and people just kind of meld into this flow. That's something that really gets me, this inner exchange of ideas and thoughts. I enjoy that.
Yeah, and I kind of was going to say something on the same lines as you, Jimmy, but I think something else that's kind of a spark to me is like a new way of looking at something. And maybe that's what I'm digging for more than anything else. Whenever I have someone on a podcast, I'm like, whoa, I've never thought of that, right? And that's exciting, which is kind of that adventure of the mind thing. It's a mixture of both, because I am both of you combined.
That's why we found you.
Yeah.
The universe.
Hey, I actually read something. It was for work, and it was talking about adapting to COVID-19 and doing instruction and teaching people on safety and health. And one of the things this person said was constraints breed creativity. And I was like, whoa, I like that. And so I guess, like, for me, an example of that is when I was writing my song Become, I was like, I want to take like a line in the song and take 2 words and flip them every second line. So every second line, it's like, I can't even give a good example because I don't remember the lyrics, but oh no, it's like there's a question I'm suggesting that's on everybody's mind. That same question I'm suggesting, are we something? Anyways. But that's all I remember from the song. But so basically it's like the next line flips it, right? And I was like, well, that's fun, right? And there's another song I wrote that'll be on the next record that basically takes like the first verse, for the second verse just makes a variation on what I already said in the first verse. And so, but the thing with those constraints is that I think you can do something that at least I think is brilliant. Because you're just like, whoa, this is cool. This is messing with my head, right? And so, like, without constraints, you'd think there would be more creativity, but building constraints actually allows for more creativity. Like, can you think of a creative exploration that you've done where that happens?
I mean, I hate to be the one, to always, well, my kids and my parenting, but like with COVID in particular, trying to figure out ways to do things virtually, stuff to not make us go crazy, and what can we do in the house? How can we do things differently in the small space? And even just when my daughter was a baby, I like put a pool in the kitchen because it was hot and I didn't have a pool. Like, that's totally on a different level than what we're talking about. But, once you're like, all right, I'm stuck in here, how do I make here good? I think I agree. Yeah, definitely breeds creativity.
I don't know that I have a thought of off the top of my head of some like moment in which I've created something as a result of the constraints put on me, but I've definitely heard this saying about how you create your own luck. And I think there's really something to that. Like if you're sitting there trying to listen to the cosmos and wait for something just to fall in your head so that you can say something inspirational, well, you'll never say anything at all. But if you get up every day and say, I'm going to write, or this week I'm going to publish a podcast, or what am I going to talk about? Well, I don't know. That like I have a deadline. This is the medium I'm going to be using. And, it forces you to squeeze something out. It's that pressure that you put yourself almost under of being in a situation that it forces you to draw out the best. Whereas if it's just kind of open-ended, you'll never do anything. It reminds me of when I actually worked at Target in the food court at Target many, many moons ago. And there was some kid and his mom that came into the food court, and they looked at the menu, and there's like, 20 different options of things you could get at our food court in Target. And the mom turned to her 5-year-old and said, honey, what do you want? And I was just like, this is never going to happen, because she just asked a 5-year-old out of the 20 things on that menu, what does he want? And he's like, and she's like, well, do you want a hot dog? And he's like, do you want popcorn? And all while trying to decide, my line's getting backed up into the area because she's not putting any constraints on her child. She should have said, honey, would you like a hot dog or some popcorn? And then that would have forced the child to make a choice. And I think unless we're put in a situation where we are forced to make a choice, we won't have those creative moments. We won't be able to actually do anything.
Hey, that could have been your podcast topic for tomorrow
there
instead of Valentine's Day.
You don't want to hear me talk about love and the birds and the bees?
I get enough of that in my life.
Oh, man.
Actually, I'm kind of intrigued by it because like what Jimmy is going to talk about, like the history of Valentine's Day and different narratives about it, and kind of bring them together and work some magic with that. So those are his constraints. His theme is Valentine's Day, and he's going to work some Jimmy magic on that.
Jimmy'sTable.com. Check it out.
Jimmy the Talking Table. JimmyTheTalkingTable.com.
No.
Which we checked. We actually, I think somebody typed it in and made sure it's not like porn. So.
Yet.
That'd be bad. Yes.
Wait, can I check if that is or not? No.
Nobody do that. Okay. All right. So Amazon has a new reptilian overlord, Andy Jassy. I think Jimmy wrote this. Yeah. I don't know much about him, but I bet he knows a lot about me.
Ooh.
I like that. That was very cleverly written, Jimmy.
It just came. It was the constraint of, I need to add something to the list. What am I going to add to the list today? And the magic came out.
I was so disappointed when Jeff Bezos left because I haven't released my song. It's called Mr. Moneybags. And at a point he says, the character says, I want to be, and it lists off a whole bunch of different billionaires. And then it says, I want to be Bezos. Is he spying on us? And I'm like, uh-oh. Like, am I going to have to change that lyric? And I'm like, well, he could still be spying on us as whatever he is now.
Yeah, he's still involved, right?
Yeah, he's going to be like the chairman of the board still.
Honestly, though, when you talk about like people spying on you, I was listening to this interview with a woman who, I think she was like high up in the US government at one point, and she's all like cyber intelligence or whatever. And she said, honestly, if you're worried about the CIA spying on you, you're not that interesting. But But I do think, like, if you've seen The Social Dilemma, I mean, it's pretty obvious that what's going on is they're trying to figure out how to use an algorithm to get you to click on certain things on Facebook. And I mean, really, that's a big reason for the censorship, because once you start going down a rabbit hole, the algorithm will take you to a darker and darker place, right?
Mm.
And I don't know. It's funny though, because I'm just like, I don't know. I always picture myself as very eclectic in my tastes and in my posts. And so I kind of wonder what the algorithm thinks about me. Like, I'm hoping I break the algorithm. That would be amazing.
That would be cool. I believe you could do it, John.
Yeah.
Air Smudge.